Well, in the last video we created a class that implemented the value manager. So in this one what we're going to do is we're going to use that value somewhere and see how useful it is to have it actually in memory. So for that what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom function for XPO. That means that it's basically a function that you can evaluate and that uh, that it will return the value that you already have in memory in the value manager. So for that, let's do some changes in this application that we have from before. So let me close all the windows. And first let's go to the value manager. This is the one that we have from before. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this property and we're going to rename it. And this will be current user. So well, this of course you can do it with the security system, but I'm trying to show how the security system actually works. So we will replicate what you can do with the current user criteria. It's basically the same. So in this case, in the value manager, we have created a property and we call it current user. So in here we will store the value of the current user, basically the same that the security system does. So let's rename the value manager to something more useful. So this will be main value manager. Okay, so not that much of a change, but I really don't like when the classes start with my something. So let's change this. Oh, the file is already renamed, so no problem here. And let's remove the comment of this property. And let's see if this actually compile. Okay, so the value manager is done. So where can we catch the value of the current user? Well, I will say that we can go to the application, Win or Web, go to the code, and what I will do is I will override the onLogon. Here. So we can set the value of our value manager here. So current user, it will be something like, well, in here the security system is already running, so we can do something like security current user name. Basically, if you see, even it looks the same, so we're replicating that. Of course, you will use a different information, but this is to make like the most simple example. So first, let's see if this actually works. I'm sure that at this moment the current user should have a value. So let's run this. And I forgot to put the stop. Let's run this again. Good. So we have the current user in this case. Now we need to create a function. So There are several ways to create a function, and all of them are totally different from each other. And actually, the scope is different. Some functions, they need to be evaluated either on the database or in the user interface. Some other functions need to be evaluated in the link expressions, and some other functions need to be interpreted in the parse function. So in this case, we will do the most simple one, which is the one that it it does not even go to the database. Actually, it just is evaluated on memory. So for that, I already have one in here, so I'm going to use that one as a base example. So let's see, I think it's here. No, it's not here. It's this one. So basically, you need to implement. I'm going to add a new class here. And this class is going to be named my function from value manager. Really specific way. Way to name it, actually. So this is going to be public, and we're going to implement the interface. So as you can see, first you need to implement this property, which is only a read-only property that returns the name. So let's do name of, and we will return this value, the name of the class. The result type is going to be type of what? We're returning a string. Return type of the string. Okay, and then in the evaluate, this function does not require anything from the from the from the operands or from the parameters that you pass to the function. So basically, we will not use them at all. We will just return here the return main value manager current user, and basically that's it. This is the most basic function that you can do in XPO. So, well, in the criteria language, not only in XPO, in general in the criteria language that all the express controls understand. So this is done. This is the implementation, and it's the most simple implementation. So I'm going to go to the other class, and I'm going to copy some lines from there. Basically, these ones. Yes. So in here, I'm going to paste these ones, and I'm going to explain it. So first, first here there is a static variable. It's a read-only variable, and it contains an instance of. It should be this class actually. So I'm going to replace my class for my function from a value manager. So here we have the instance in a static read-only variable. So then we have two static and public methods. One is to register and one is to unregister the function. So in the register function, I call the CriteriaOperator.RegisterCustomFunction, and I pass the instance, which is this static variable here. And in the unregister, I do the same basically. So right now, we should register this function as soon as we can, or just before we're going to use it basically. But the best place to register the functions is in the application start. So let's go to the program here, and here let's register this as soon as the application start. And we're going to do register. Good. That's going to register the instance. Now let's do something here in the domain object 1. Let's add a property. The property will be owner of the data. So in here I'm going to do well, there is already an override here, so I'm going to use that override, and I'm going to set the owner to the value manager, main value manager's current user. So every time I create a record, it will set the owner to the current user that we catch in the logon override in the Windows application. So let's start with admin. So here I have these two records which they don't have any owner. So I'm going to create a third record. This third record is going to be Jaime Macias. And something is wrong here. I set this to the same name. So let's see. Domain object 1 is current user. So this is showing me, oh, here I'm setting the current user. So I will not do that actually, but I need to start the application again. Okay, so the current user is admin. So when I create a record in here, it should belong to admin. Or when I edit a record also. So let's do this one. Let's add one space here and save it. So see, this belongs to admin. Then one is empty, and then the other owner is Jaime. So let's test the function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invoke the filter editor, and I'm going to change this to owner, where owner is equals and then the name of the function. So what is the name of the function that we register? Is where was it? Here. Okay, so the name of the function is function from my value manager, from value manager. So let's come here and this and put the parentheses in the end, and that's it. So let's go to the text version, and this should be something like this without the quote. So when we apply this, it will execute, evaluate the function, and it will get the value from the value manager. So if we go to the function in here, if we put a breakpoint here, when I do apply or I do OK, it will execute the function. So let's run it. See, so there is 0 operands because the function is invoked without any value and without any parameters. And in here I'm going to return the current user. So see, there is only one who matches this function, the value of this function, which is admin. If I clear this, I will get all the values again. So as you can see, this is the most basic function that is only going to be evaluated in memory. So basically, I think I will rename this so it makes more sense to so this is the most basic function, the one that is only evaluated on memory. In the next videos, I'm going to create the one that are evaluated in memory and that they are evaluated in the database also. But for this video, we will stop here in the most basic function. So that's everything, and if you have any questions or doubts, you can just write in the comments of the video. Thank you.